Hey everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Becky Sechware. I'm a UK registered nurse and I give tips and advice to overseas nurses and carers who are working in the UK. So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing the different career pathways in nursing in the UK. When you arrive, it's up to you what you want. You can decide to be a band 5 forever. You can also decide to pursue career development, which comes with increased salaries as well. So if you want to know more about this, why not watch the video to the end? You're welcome back to the main video. So as you know, when you get to the UK as an OSCE nurse, you would be working as band 4, and when you get your registration as a nurse in the UK after OSCE, then you would be starting as band 5. So band 5 is the entry point in nursing in the UK. So this would be either someone who has just recently qualified as a nurse in the UK, or someone who has come from overseas, already trained and have just registered as a nurse in the UK. My advice to those of you who are nurses from overseas who have relocated to the UK as carers or senior carers or care assistant, my advice would be, please try and do the necessary things you have to do so you can register and practice as a nurse in the UK. It's very important. By doing that, you can then start pursuing career development. So let's look at some of the career pathways for nurses in the UK. So the first, as I said before, band 5. Band 5 could be on the ward. So I'll talk about progression on the ward first. So you start as a band 5 on the ward. The next stage would be to aspire to become a band 6. So band 6 on the wards are deputy ward managers, or they can call them deputy charge nurse or charge nurse. And then after working as band 6, which is a deputy, for a while, if you want to become a ward manager, then you can work on that to become a ward manager. And when you're a ward manager, most often the requirement, you should have a degree or a master's. So if you already have a master's, that would be an advantage. You need an experience in nursing in the UK. The question is whether you can move from band 5 to band 6. Yes, in some areas it does happen, not very common. No, from band 5 to a 7, yes, it can happen, but it's not very common. So when you become a ward manager, band 7 for a while, then you can aspire to become a matron. Matrons would be managing different wards as well. So the matrons would manage band 7s, as well as they have their own, group of ward managers that they manage, as well as meetings and all sorts of matrony things that they do. And from being a band 8A, which is a ward matron, people aspire to become deputy head of nursings, who are band 8Bs. And from 8B, we have 8C, we have 8D, and there are band 9s in nursing. So from the ward, from band 5, with all your experience from your home country, you can actually work through the ranks and you can move forward. Another one is the other different specialty. So you want to become a clinical nurse specialist. First of all, you have to be a band 5 nurse in the UK in order to pursue a clinical nurse specialist role. I've done a few videos on career progression in the UK as a nurse, and I've talked about my own experience from the bottom as B grade those days, slowly by D grade, which is now band 5, and how I moved to band 6, how I moved to band 7 all over the years. So you can also do it. It took some of us a little bit longer to get to where we are, but you can do yours a bit quickly based on some of these informations that we put out there for you to help you. So clinical nurse specialist, so as a band 5 nurse, you can apply to become a clinical nurse specialist in different nursing specialties. There are several clinical specialist nursing roles in the UK for people with headaches, people with epilepsy, neurological conditions like multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease. I'm talking about these first because I work in neurology as a headache nurse. People are sickle cell specialist nurses, cardiology, angio, radiology nurse specialists. There are many others that, I can't mention all of them, diabetes specialist nurses. So it depends on what specialty you are interested in, and you can work towards becoming a clinical nurse specialist. So the first stage as a specialist nurse or clinical nurse specialist from band 5 would be band 6. From band 6, then you can advance, you can apply for band 7 specialist nursing roles. Some advanced nurse practitioners are band 7s. There are some who are band 8As. We have leadership roles as specialist nurses. So there are lead nurses who are specialist nurses. So they lead their specialist nursing teams, and they are band 8A. I was a lead nurse in my previous job, but I was a band 7. But there are some clinical specialist nursing teams that have band 7s as lead nurses. There are others that have band 8As as their lead nurses. And then we have nurse consultants as well. So they are extremely advanced in their roles. They do almost a bit similar to what some of the consultants do, not the same, but they work as nurse consultants. So as a clinical nurse specialist, you can actually aspire to work towards becoming a nurse consultant. With that, you should have your masters as well, and also some of them actually aspire and they do their PhDs as well. Not many nurse consultants have PhDs, but majority you require a band you require an MSc, so that's very important. So there are people who would like to consider working in clinical education. So with clinical education or clinical practice educators as well, you can actually get a band 5 role from the ward as an associate clinical practice educator, and then as time goes on you can move to band 6 as a clinical practice educator. Then they have their practice development education leads who are band 7s. They have their divisional leads who can be band 8 and several more. And then from there, if you want to consider becoming a research nurse as well, there are band 5 research nurse roles, and then there are band 6 senior research nurse roles as band 6, and there are band 7 research nurse managers as well. And then another option, as you grow in research nursing, you can get to clinical research lead band 8A. Then they have clinical research lead band 8B. So each area you go, there is a pathway for you. If you work towards it, you can get stuck at the start and you stay there forever, but you can find out more and learn more and move around. And then another area of specialization or a nursing pathway in the UK is specialist public health nursing specialties. So with that, state once again, the entry point of every role in the UK as a nurse is band 5. So with specialist public health nursing specialties, they usually train you. So post qualification as a nurse, you would apply for these roles either as a health visitor, a school nurse, district nurse, and general practice nurse. That's a bit different, but they also are under the public health, specialist public health nursing specialty. So when you are training, you apply to train to become, for example, a health visitor, you would be paid by the employing trust as band 5, either midpoint of band 5 So you'll be paid whilst you're studying and training, and on completion and on meeting all your requirements, then you would be band 6 on appointment. So that is one way. Post qualification, you become band 6. Let's say health visitor, school nurse, or district nurse. General practice, most often people actually are in the role, and then they do the course, and they sometimes are able to negotiate their salaries based on their experience as well. So they have team leaders. So there are a lot of everybody who is a health visitor, or majority health visitor school nurses are band 6, but their team leaders are band 7s, and then they have band 8As as well, and so forth. So in the UK, there is the opportunity for you as a nurse, wherever you come from, or if you're newly qualified in the UK, there is the opportunity for you to develop. There is the opportunity for you to move up in your career. There are several career options for you. Once again, as I said, some people prefer to be band 5 because it suits their family lives. There are others who want to move forward. If you want to do courses, you need to approach your manager, especially when you're going to be having your appraisal, annual appraisal, and you're asked to put down your plan, your professional development plan for the next year. If you want to do your masters, you can actually put that there, discuss this with your manager. Some managers will support you, some will tell you there's no money. Some people have done the masters themselves part-time. You have to do some modules and things like that, and then you get it. If you've asked your manager first year, second year, you are not being given the opportunity to develop, then you have to find another job where you would be wanted, where you would be supported. As I always say, in the UK, nobody would promote you automatically. You have to work hard and move up the career ladder yourself. Without that, you would stay where you are forever. So I hope this video has been helpful. Take care of yourselves. If there is anything you'd like me to talk about, please feel free to put that in a comment section, and I'll try my best to work on that for you. It might not be straight away, but it will take a few weeks, but I will get there. Take care, and I shall see you again in a few weeks' time. Take care and have a good day.